Alright guys, so I've been asked by a ton of people to do this video, and I did a video a long time ago, but it's time to do another one. So this is in regards to the B9 robot as seen in Lost in Space, and one of the things I'm going to start off with is a blueprint that I found. He's talking in the background. So I found this, I don't even remember how long ago, but it's very, very old. And it may be an original actual blueprint with mechanical pencil drawings, or it may be a copy. I don't know for sure. I've had people tell me it's an original. I've had people tell me it's a copy. It doesn't matter. It's one of the coolest things I've ever found. So, as you can see, this is a blueprint of the B9 robot. And the one thing for me that makes it really cool, he's just talking in the background, is this. That is Kinishido's mark. Okay, that's Bob Kinishido, the one that designed both Robbie the robot from Forbidden Planet and the B9 robot from Lost in Space. And as you can see, it looks just like a blueprint drafting, but I can't say for sure. But I'm going to zoom in really close. You guys tell me if that don't look like mechanical pencil. Alright? Pretty fucking cool. And I've had this for a long time. And the other thing I've had for a long time is this. And this is a autographed cast sign photo from Lost in Space of everybody, except for Guy. I think this, he didn't sign much before he died. I don't even know if he signed that much, but I've got everybody else, including the guy who played the robot, Bob May. For all you Lost in Space guys out there, you know what this is. Alright? So let me introduce you to my B9 robot.
Do not stretch.
This is my B9 robot. And so I did the electronics for him from the same type of electronics from that era. And to find the proper bulbs, the bulb covers, all of those things took a while for me to find them. And I found them in an old electronics store on the East Coast.
Temperature 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Air composition nitrogen 83% by volume. Oxygen 15.5% by volume. Argon, carbon dioxide, methane, and neon. Conclusion: environment can sustain human life. End of report.
So this is the second one I built. The first one I built, I sold so we could pay for my son's doctor bills. And it's got the threads all the way up.
A sentimental phrase to indicate the separation or parting of emotional beings derived from an early English expression that does not compute.
So the only thing that's not spinning right now is the crown. The crown on top of here spins and the fingers move. The motor has burned out after all these years, so I need to replace that. But the lights are still blinking away. And as I said before, the lights for these, what they are is they're bulbs that they have a connection on the inside of them.
Inaccurate. Does not compute. Humanoid, not 16 meters high. Data inaccurate. Does not compute.
So the bulbs are basically, they have a contact, so when the bulb heats up, the contact expands and turns off, and then when the bulb pulls off for a split second, turns it on. That's what creates that really cool blinking effect. And if I take one of the covers off here, hold on a second, you'll see what the bulb looks like.
I play chess.
See? See how it flashes? And all of them do it at a different rate because there's different temperatures that each metal reacts to. Okay? And each one of these is a cover. It's a plastic cover that you just screw over the top. And that's exactly what they used for the robot in Lost in Space. Okay? Now, on the robot for Lost in Space also, this is called the microphone area, but this is actually a
Relative
microphone.
humidity 47%. Outside temperature minus 120 degrees Fahrenheit and dropping.
He really likes the attention. I've not played with him in a while, so he likes the attention he's getting. And it's good for the neon too, to keep the neon going. But back to what I was saying about the
Inside
microphone.
temperature 51 degrees Fahrenheit and dropping rapidly.
All right,
In 1
robot.
hour,
Let me
14
talk.
minutes, interior temperature of this spaceship will drop below the freezing point.
Good gravy. All right, let's try this again. So this is a microphone, and this is the exact type of microphone they used in the show, right?
Artificial heat now at maximum. Power reserve failing. Recommended action. Abandon ship and head south.
He just loves to talk. And then the body is made from molded out pieces of fiberglass that I glued
I
together
compute your question, but I will not answer.
and formed an actual full body out of it. And you can't really see the seams. They're all sanded and filled. And then this is his power pack, which a lot of people have never seen before. Just see if I can get it off. There we go. That's the power pack. And it's identical to the one they used in the show. I made sure that all the resistors were proper and everything else in the power pack. The frame is actually taken from Electronic Circuit. And I had to...
My sensory units tell me you are very unhappy. Is there anything I can do?
No, I'm fine, robot. So I had to trace all this stuff down. And the nice thing about it is there's a lot of people out there that know this information. So you hook up with a lot of these people and they can give you a lot of information on this. The spinners do work, but the batteries right now are dead. And the way that I did the spinners is I actually used pager. There's a little motor in the pager, and that causes the pager to vibrate. Well, it spins.
Warming time activated.
So I use those motors, which are tiny little motors, to get the spinners to spin. And I might post a video of that later down the road, but right now it's not that important, really. And then off to the side for the side panels, I did those with green plastic and pieces of wood that you turn on a lathe to make the shape of it, and you cut it in half, and it forms that star pattern. So this robot is, I don't
That
know,
does not compute.
20
That
years?
does not compute.
He's probably about 20 years old. I think I built him. I've lived in this house for 23 years. Yeah, he might be 21 years actually old, and he's still in pretty good condition. The neon's still working great, and as you can see, he's still talking away. And then, of course, my next project, as you guys have been following, is my Robbie. And right now, Robbie's got his feet all the way up to his waist. And then I'm working on the torso right now, as you can see, while the puttying and sanding and whatnot.
I have located Chariot.
And then that's where the,
Chariot is in
right in the
motion.
front, that's where the heart box is going to go. And I'm also working on the head, doing the electronics for the head and everything there. But this video is about this guy. So let's see what other things he can say. I've got him on a loop of about, I think, 300 things that I've taken from the show. And I did it the old-fashioned way. I ripped it from the actual VHS tape. In the old days when me and a friend of mine were making props, like for instance the
Data on the orbit of this planet. Outside temperature 104 below Fahrenheit. Correction. Outside temperature 98 degrees below zero and rising. Recommend you review data on Sun.
so the things in today you have sound chips, but in those days you didn't. So they used to have a chip that on a answer machine, and I know some of you guys remember where you could actually program what you wanted your
An
answer
explosive
machine
might
to
cause
say.
further damage in the interior of the
See, he
cave.
won't let me talk, that dirty rat. And so I contacted the company who made the chips, and I had a small company at the time.
According to my computations, the Chariot light batteries only have a few more minutes of power.
Robot, can
I
I please
suggest
talk?
that everyone return to the spaceship and resume work in the morning.
So what the chip was, it was an EEPROM,
My sensors tell me that there is plenty of oxygen in the cave. Professor Robinson is in no danger from that source.
Let me talk. So the chip was an EEPROM and could be programmed, and I built a programmer, a burner, and I actually built a circuit that I could hook to my TV, and when I played it on VHS,
Data
it
processing
would
now
transfer it to the
complete.
chip,
Results contradictory.
and then you'd get your sound effect. And at that time, in the 80s, there was nothing like that. So my company was very popular when it came to props. Very, very popular. Many people in the prop industry use some of our stuff in their shows. Got stuff stolen. Ended up on Sequest. Ended up on all kinds of shows out there. And I did make a lot of friends too along the way with these shows
The
and
function
whatnot.
of any computer is to draw conclusions from provided data. If conclusions are contradictory, provided data is at fault.
Boy, he just won't shut up, will he? Well, anyway, as I always say at the end of my videos, end of video, happy
It is
printing.
necessary to point out that identical data will provide identical conclusions.
And I know this is a very long video, but there are a ton of people that wanted to see this. So here you go, guys.
You're probably suffering a guilty conscience. I'm referring to our last conversation when you insulted me. My memory banks retain the information. You must apologize.
So, B9 Robot from Lost in Space. I will end this video.